G'day, Tim Kerin here from Mortgage Choice in Kingsley. Just a quick update on HomeBuilder and Building Bonus. That's still the topic on everyone's lips when they're talking to me anyway. This is my understanding of how it works at the moment. Each state needed to make a decision with HomeBuilder about how to administer it. In WA, the existing first home owner grant, which I can talk very confidently about because I've been dealing with it for 16 years, is based on some legislation in WA that allows Revenue WA, the government, to pay the $10,000 for the grant directly to the lender by making the lender an approved agent of Revenue WA. The Western Australian government decided not to pass similar legislation for HomeBuilder or for their own building bonus, which means they can't pay the $25,000 HomeBuilder grant or the $20,000 building bonus grant to the lender. It has to go directly to the applicant. And for that reason, in WA, the lender is not going to be in control of the funds. And for that reason, in WA, so far, no lender has said they're happy to rely on that happening the way they rely on the first home owner grant happening, which is not only frustrating, but incredibly disappointing, because that's very much the opposite of what I believe was intended by the federal government when it was announced, and very much the opposite of what we're all led to believe when it was talked about being administered through the same mechanism. So in other states, it actually works differently to WA. Where in other states, South Australia, ACT, Tasmania, for example, it can be paid to the lender, and therefore a lender can rely on it, and things can work differently there. But here in WA, that's it. So everybody I've been speaking to that is seriously buying a block and building at the moment, or trying to somehow take advantage of these grants, has either given up or has found a way to have someone back them up with $45,000 and potentially pay them back later, so that they can get the grants, get done what they need to get done, and then, do it the other way around. Get done what they need to get done, get the grants afterwards when it's too late to be used as deposit, and then give the money back to whoever lent it to them in the first place, or gifted it to them, or whatever. So that appears to be the resolution. I don't see that changing, because I guess with the amount of questions I've been asking and the fact that 2.5 months has passed with virtually nothing being said by lenders about it, and virtually nothing being said by our state government about it, apart from one media release when the application form for both grants was released. There's just nothing left that gives me hope that there's any reason to expect things to change. So I think that's probably the end of the road. If you can't make something work, or you haven't found a way to make something work by now, probably nothing's going to change that makes that easier. But yeah, if you're not sure about your situation, obviously ask me and we'll see what I can do to help. And I hope that helps you figure things out. Look, there is one scenario, one lender that is factoring the grant in. If you can get to 90% of the land value with your deposit and prove 5% genuine savings of the entire value of what your land and build is going to be, then they'll factor the home builder grant, and as far as they're telling me anyway, the building bonus grant in as deposit for the build, as long as you give it to them before they start funding the build. So that's one exception to the rule, but you basically have to have more deposit than most people tend to have when they're asking me about taking advantage of these grants. And if you tend to have that much deposit, typically you're not that far away from having enough deposit to solve the problem a different way anyway. Hope that helps you think things through, and I'm here to help. And I wish you all the best in this strange COVID world. I feel pretty lucky to be here in WA, where I'm allowed to be outside with the birds tweeting in nature, and there's people in other states and other countries and most of the places around the world that just aren't allowed to do that. So yeah, I'm taking positive out of this, and glad we're all still here. Cheers.